Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video, and welcome back to another Challenger Spectate. Today we're watching Kayn. This is a guy we watched before. If I'm not mistaken, it is a pro. Feel free to let people know exactly who it is in the comments. Again, I can't always remember everybody's account. Again, it could be a pro called Kayn. I haven't really watched competitive League for like a good 2 years. I think I might start getting back into it though when the season restarts in the next couple of weeks for LEC and LCS. Meanwhile, a very weird start to the game. Xerath, for some reason, support Xerath, by the way, completely overextends. Gets first blooded by the Kayn, who obviously we are watching today, but then Kayn gets first blooded. That was all 5 people. Xerath uses both summoners, literally just to get a ward there that I think got taken away anyway. So that's weird. Reminding people, this is Challenger. This is a US Challenger, so it should be, in theory, the best level of play and all that stuff, which is not, you know, it's not always a guarantee that the games are going to look the best. But watching Kayn, and I think that's what's happening, flip the Corki and the Ezreal. We're watching a Kayn today, and we're kind of asking the question, is Kayn a little bit too strong, like a lot of champions are currently in League? Meanwhile, by the way, red team waited in this bush for the Xerath with no summoners to walk by, and yes, they do take him down. So that is what, like, you know, a mistake at this level costs you. The Xerath has died already twice in less than 2 minutes. Meanwhile, here comes the double kind of most, the quickest way to farm as Kayn, I guess. By the way, he didn't even get a pull, but he's completed 2 camps in less than 2 minutes by himself. So that does show Kayn pretty good at clearing. And yeah, he kind of pulls 2 things together, the blue and the Gromp, just to kind of use his AoE damage more effectively, which is pretty good. You can see how much he's pulling away from the camps and then finishing them off before they reset. That's something that is obviously a lot of people don't do, and you know, I'm playing jungle here or there. Kayn is, I'll say this video might be asking the question, is Kayn a little bit too overpowered? I will say he is very strong. Whether he's overpowered or not, I guess depends your opinion. But that's something, if I'm going to pick up Kayn, if I'm jungling more, that's something that I now can do, and something that you guys can try and do this, like, you know, really, what I'd say, it's weird, aggressive farm jungling, that he's like, he's ready to move on to the next camp instantly, and even sometimes walking away from the camp before it's even dead. And now I will say, his clear time, reminding people, this Kayn has had no pull. He legit has nearly completed the whole map of jungle in about 3 minutes. That is mental. He's level 4. He's completed his whole side of jungle, and he's ready to go fight for the Scuttle Crab. By the time the other junglers, if you actually look at the mini-map in the bottom right, the enemy set jungle has completed red, wolves, Gromp, and blue. So Kayn has done 2 more camps. 2 more camps than the set in the same time. He's out-leveled him. It's just mental how much Kayn, how fast he is. And worth noting, a lot of people don't even think Kayn is that good before he has his form, right? Either blue or red form. Generally, you're always going to go red form in jungle, especially the higher rated you go. And obviously, this Kayn has got Conqueror, which that would generally tell you he's going to go red. Dark Harvest is probably blue form. Conqueror is probably red, because red is all about healing, and it synergizes so well with Death's Dance, obviously being one of the stronger bruiser items in the game right now. Corki on the back foot, Janna doing a gank, and I will say it is becoming pretty common, pretty damn common for supports just to leave the lane. You can see Xerath is still down here, maybe going to try and look to bully the Kai'Sa, because obviously she's now alone. Xerath hits a minion with his stun, and now he potentially is on the back foot, reminding people still has no flash, but they don't get there just in time. Maybe Janna, level 2 Janna gank. Kayn probably should have actually gone for that, by the way. It's a little bit surprising, because now Janna, I will say, probably felt like she might have got baited there by her own Kayn. I would maybe agree with that. That was a free gank. You know Xerath still has not got flash up, probably could have made that play happen, but they get punished a little bit, and they will return. By the way, Kayn level 5 already. Level 5. What? That's insane. And now what he'll most likely do, he'll probably do a full jungle clear, hit level 6, and then he'll base for the full first time, go back and buy, and then he's level 6 ready for like his first big like fight, gank, whatever you want to say. Oh my god, like, he's just done it so quick. So we can go over runes, by the way, because some people are like, what's all that? So he's going Conqueror, Presence of Mind, Tenacity, and Last Stand. and then running Inspiration, Magical Footwear, Cosmic Insight, and attack damage, armor. Very standard, nothing out of the ordinary here for Red Kayn. But yeah, I'm just shocked at how fast this guy can jungle clear. Without even, you know, he's not struggling for health at all, is he? You know? And yeah, there's like little kiting here or there. He's avoiding some damage, but there it is, everybody. Level 6 in 5 minutes. And I will say, pretty much within 5 minutes, if you actually count when a jungler starts farming, is 1 minute 30. There's set, by the way, down a level. If you start actually jungling at 1 minute 30, this Kayn has got to level 6 in 4 minutes. Like, what is that about? This is insane. So fast. So he's going to go back, buy his first item, which will probably be... And by the way, he's already gone back once already. Finishing his Stalker Blade and building his Warhammer. Obviously building into that Warrior. And now going to go back and go for the clear. I'd imagine he'll probably go maybe to around Dragon for Scuttle Crab, then maybe back up to Blue. Might look for a gank in bot lane at that time. Janna, unfortunately, has died. Kai'Sa very low health. Can... Kayn make an impact down here. Very low health is Kai'Sa. Got to be careful of obviously the range of Xerath. Maybe a level 6 Kayn could make a play here. Neither of these are level 6. They're both low health. Summoners have been used. And here is going to be the gank. Xerath actually taking a tower hit. Ezreal taking some poke. Kai'Sa doing a really good job actually baiting. There's a shutdown. And there it is. So arguably the enemy bot lane. Complete overstay. There's the double kill for Kayn. Really nice gank there. And I'd say good, I'd say patience from Kai'Sa to not like really go all in, but she kept them interested. She stayed around to be like, oh, are you going to try and hit me? So they kind of probably the enemy team felt forced to be like, dude, we can't leave this Kai'Sa at this health. Meanwhile, the set, again, Fnatic self-made, gets a bit poked by the Kayn, whose damage, again, isn't that bad at the moment, even pre-form. Obviously gaining some of his stacks there for his form. Heading over to do some counter jungling. Again, you know, Kayn's jungle has respawned, but there's no need for him to take his own jungle right now when you can actually actively steal pretty safely from the enemy jungle, because that means you're denying gold directly out of the enemy's pocket. And he does take it, and he also got a control ward. Potentially the one of the first plates in the game as well. And now Kayn most likely will go over and finally go do some of his own jungle farming. His mana's getting low, so I'd imagine he'd probably want blue buff himself here or there. But no, he's actually looking for a gank. So instead of actually farming, instead of going to go do the blue, nope, he is looking for a gank. Most likely for this Xerath, by the way. Janna hits the W, Kayn going all in, gets the W, doesn't even use ultimate actually, and just completely one-bangs the Xerath with the Kai'Sa and Janna. Again, don't underestimate Janna's W damage, by the way. A lot of people do. Good Janna's max W, and it does a lot of damage. Kayn, now going back again, has done no farming actively in his own jungle since it's respawned, by the way. But hasn't felt the need. Got himself another kill. He's currently 4-1. There is a ward in that bush. And what's he doing again? Well, he's pushing with his bot lane to actively help them get a tower plate. So what you're seeing here is, yes, an aggressive Kayn who's getting the kills and everything, but you're also seeing a team player. Like, he's actively helping his team get stuff. And by the way, this is a 9-minute Red Kayn. Holy moly. Is this Red Kayn? I think it is. Or is it not? It actually might be Shadow with this skin. No, he's gone Blue Kayn. Okay. I think this is Blue Kayn with this skin. It just looks red because the skin's red. The reason why he might have gone blue, even though he's gone Conqueror, well, again, remind me, Conqueror isn't that bad for Blue Kayn. Conquerors are strong in general, does a lot of healing. Even Blue Kayn wants to heal. But he's doing well, right? You know, the more carry-orientated Kayn obviously is blue. So he might be like, I'm 4-1 at less than, you know, before 10 minutes. I can go blue form right now. If he wanted to go red, he'd have to wait 3 minutes, I think it is. 3 or 4 minutes to, like, activate it. He kind of hopped around there. So he might be like, no, I want to snowball this game. Let's go blue right now. And you'll most likely see, by the way, he's not going to farm. Why? Because he's gone blue, he really needs to maximize how fed he can get right now. So you're just going to see him gank over and over and over again. And a little bit messy, but he gets another kill. And now he's 5-1. So this is the more snowball side of Kayn. Again, it's rare. It is rarer to see blue Kayn at higher ratings, but it does happen, and that's obviously what he's doing. And he's going straight onto the dragon. You just saw vision of Kayn in top river, by the way, so there's no threat right now of this being stolen. And yeah, this is really clean. So this is a great lesson as well, especially when you're a jungler. When to gank, when to fight, when to farm. And you're seeing how much this Kayn is now prioritizing not farming. He is legit kill everything. And gets the kill. He does give a shutdown to the Corki, 500 gold bounty, so the Corki won't be sad about that. But with how aggressive that Kayn committed for that was very close of him not even getting that kill. He also got Corki flash, I believe, for that, so that will help LeBlanc. But yeah, Kayn's nuts. What's the top lane matchup? Jace, by the way, will say in the next couple days, and I want to try and maybe potentially hype this episode up. You guys, when there'll be a Kayn episode, a Jace episode in the next few days that I upload of a live gameplay that I'm playing Jace, and I'm not even kidding. It is the funniest game I've had in a really long time. So again, in the next couple days, look for that video because it is honestly hilarious. So Kayn respawns, and yes, he is committing to full damage blue form. Gets the buff. Xerath flashes away to just be out of range completely of the Kayn. He is maybe, you know, playing with fire a bit. The Kayn can dive. LeBlanc is also coming down. What is going to happen? This is going to be risky. Hits the W. Goes straight on him. Barrier with the Xerath. That's so much damage with LeBlanc and Kayn. Ezreal tried to get like a little pick on LeBlanc. Not close enough. And by the way, yes, Kayn with his wall running around and everything, he can heal pretty effectively too. And also Conqueror is going to heal as well. Red buff being taken. Ezreal doesn't want this Kayn to take this, obviously, so there is going to be a little bit of a tussle for it. Kayn just smites it and makes his way on out pretty safely. But no, he is not done yet. He is... Oh, good prediction W. He knew the Ezreal would be probably walking back to lane, so lands a pretty nice chunk W there. And the Ezreal has to be careful. Gets auto attack, does E to safely with his tower. But Kayn is looking aggressive. He's still kind of wanting this. So yeah, and obviously what's been happening this game as a whole, well, mid lane actually has not been going incredibly well for LeBlanc in terms of farm. It's going okay with KD though, but the lane that seems to be suffering the most is top. So I think Set may have ganked top lane here or there. So Jace is struggling. Obviously Jace as a champion, he's not the strongest champion right now. He used to be a lane bully. It's very hard for even Jace to lane bully anymore, if I'm honest. But what's been happening is, meanwhile, enemy team has to be careful here. W hits, doesn't kill the Ezreal. What's been kind of happening with Jace is because he's kind of in a weak position to actually lane bully, people have just been doing the more scale-intensive build. Meanwhile, Set goes aggressive. Kayn, I honestly don't think is dead. Nope. Doesn't die. A bit too slippery for the Set to actually kill. Wukong now from top lane comes in, exhausts with the heal. Enemy team not going to probably get a kill here for a big commitment of Wukong. That was teleport Wukong, by the way, coming down. And they leave with nothing. Again, reminding people how little this Kayn has been farming the last couple minutes. He has legit not been in his topside jungle for, like, I'd probably say a good 3-4 minutes, maybe. It's kind of crazy. Just this guy's playstyle, as we said. That was Hex Flash, I think. So yeah, don't panic if you see this Set flashing weirdly. He's got Hex Flash, which, you know, on some champions is pretty good. No, that was actually Set Flash. Hang on. No, that was actually a real flash. The Set just pinged his own flash. So that's a 3-minute cooldown. Or 5-minute cooldown, whatever the hell. Yeah, Set just legitimately flashed then. Okay, that's a bit weird. So finally Kayn returning to his jungle to farm. Notice how squishy all this farm is. Yeah, because he hasn't been farming it. It hasn't leveled up when it respawns. Like, look, he's one-shotting everything. And obviously, yeah, Kayn himself is quite strong right now. I'd imagine he's going to go back. Level 10 has been hit, by the way. And I would hope... Well, what I hope to see here is he does his world. Maybe he'll do Grump as well just for power farming. Go back, complete most likely his first lethality item. Then go back to go do red buff. And then look for further ganks. That's what I would guess. But as I was saying, yeah, so Jace is a champion, not very strong in terms of lane bullying people anymore, even though that's what you want to do as Jace. So people are opting for the Muramana scaling build with him. It does give him pretty good scaling. You'll notice again, the Muramana build has actually popped up on a bunch of champions that are a bit weird. Dravens sometimes build Mirror Mana. Twitches are even building Mirror Mana. It's a great scaling item for auto attack champions. And yeah, so a lot of people are building it, even if, you know, like a Draven, you're designed to win lane. So building a tier item is always going to hurt that. But it gives Draven even better scaling. So some Dravens are doing it. LeBlanc could be in a bit of trouble in bot lane here. She lands 1 kill. It's a 1v3. She actually is potentially going to survive that. Wow, well played. Enemy team might be a bit angry about that, so they could potentially find themselves over-chasing. Meanwhile, Kayn going aggressive, flash plays and everything. Follows the Corki after his W. Is going to go down. Set now also in trouble. 2v1 with Janna. Meanwhile, a teleport from Jace has come in. Set going to be probably holding his W to try and get the Janna the most. Wukong in the area. Kayn just being patient. Does go down. Eventually does the set. But this is a problem for the Kayn. Never mind. His team has shown up. Gets a kill with a LeBlanc. Wukong ultimate comes through. Not too much damage. Does get the kill with his Q though. That does damage. And the Wukong will also go down to the Kai'Sa. So this is a bit of a fiesta game, I'd say, for Challenger. But Dragon has just spawned. You know, perfect opportunity for the Kayn to go do Dragon. And what we're also seeing in this game is patterns. I've spoken about this many a time, that every single jungler practically has patterns of what lane do they like to gank, what do they like to do. And you can already tell this jungler is, I like bot lane and I like dragons. Because that's primarily where this guy has been most of this game. And obviously, if you're in bot lane a lot as a jungler, that naturally should give you dragon pressure. You know, if a jungler in their pattern loves ganking top, well, that's okay. But then if you're never around when the dragon spawns, you're giving so much scaling and pressure to the enemy team that, you know, with this season, Season 10 being Rise of the Elements, I think they're still calling it, a lot of the late game scaling and scaling in general were given to dragons. So if you're a jungler that ignores them, you are hurting your chances to win a lot of games. I think the percentage of which team wins games when it comes to dragons, I think is like, if you get first dragon, whichever team gets first dragon, I believe it's around a 70% win rate. If you get the first dragon, your team has a 70% win rate to win the game. And I think it's whichever team has 3 dragons, not even 4, so obviously Dragon Soul is a different story, it jumps to like 85% win chance. Like, dragons are important. Really important. So Kayn looking a bit aggressive there. Item build-wise, gets his Umbral as his item. Kayn in trouble. No, sorry. Xerath in trouble is what I was about to say. Lovely W hit, by the way, from Kai'Sa in mid. That actually probably gave the Kayn the opportunity to actually go in just to finish the kill really easily without risking too much. Meanwhile, Wukong goes down to the LeBlanc, so the game is starting, you can kind of sense, to start to snowball. If you look at the gold at the top, you might be like, oh, it's 19 kills to 9. This is a complete stomp. Look at the gold. It's around 1,000 gold difference. Like, this is actually still a pretty close game, all in all. But it's starting to feel a little bit more snowbally. Starting to. What surprises me at the moment, though, is Kayn's item that he's holding. If he's gone, and again, has gone blue Kayn, why is there a ruby crystal randomly there? Surely he should just be building more lethality. Who knows? We'll see. Because, like, you know, Duskblade would probably be a pretty good item for a really fed Kayn, but we'll see. Next up, again, objective heavy focus has this Kayn got. So I think the enemy team got the first Rift Herald. The Kayn is now getting the second one. Janna takes the kill on the Ezreal, who is not having the greatest of the game. Again, one of those champions that also buys Mirror Mana. But just notice, by the way, how popular this item has become again. 4 champions in this game. Jace, Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Corki. 4 champions are building that same item. That's when you know the item itself is probably in a pretty strong position. If we look into the gold as well, I haven't looked into that in a while. So 8.6k to 7.2, so pretty big difference there. But honestly, mid lane, massive difference as well, and that'll be farm. LeBlanc as a champion is not generally a big farming champion, but 7.3 to 9.1. That's quite a big difference. You know, top lane and about 1,100 or, sorry, 1,000 gold difference between these two. But then, yeah, you can clearly see AD carry difference is very big this game as well. So over 3,000 gold, oh no, well, 2,000 gold lead for Kai'Sa at this stage. Which is near enough the same difference between mid and AD carries, in essence. Just swapped, depending which team you're talking about. So Kayn has got blue buff, so he's probably got the confidence to stick around here. Surprises me that he's just going for farm. you know, as a jungler, sometimes it is a good idea to go to a side lane just to pick up a wave or two, because that's in essence how you're going to get the really high farm numbers. You know, Kayn has got 152 farm this game. That's the most farm in his team. Corki is the only person beating him, and Corki is a pretty good farming champion. And that is because you are seeing this Kayn, when he's ganking, you know, whether it be on purpose or not, it most likely is, by the way, you can see him killing minions with his W, with his Q, and he's not going to be sad about that, this Kayn. He is farming still while he's doing all these ganks. Meanwhile, Wukong this time actually gets the revenge kill on the Blanc. Kayn going to look for a gank in the mid lane. What can he do? Enemy team potentially slightly out of position here. Corki gets exhausted. Coming in does the Kayn, and that will be most likely a dead Corki. Janna took the kill, which is questionable. Xerath potentially a bit caught out. Ezreal in top lane weirdly. What's going to happen though? Kayn still, you know, as you can see, like, look, he's farming as they're fighting. This is what I've been talking about. You know, in between his cooldowns, he is still getting farm. And that's how he's maximizing everything. It's really good to see, and it's something that a lot of people may not notice. Jace looks for the snipe, doesn't get it. Kayn also going aggressive, does eventually get the Xerath, who stayed a bit too much. Set, I don't know if it's got this kill. It's going to be close with the healing. Whoa, really close. Ezreal E, and I think one auto attack made the difference there. Really nice aggressive play, though, from the Kayn. Good confidence level. Oh, okay, so the Kayn has actually gone Black Cleaver. Still, obviously, a good item. I'm just a bit surprised that they just didn't go into another lethality item straight away, if I'm honest. Obviously, Black Cleaver is still good, but and obviously, it makes him a bit tankier, which is not a bad thing. Dragon being done straight away for red team. A bit risky, because one jungler's dead, one jungler's alive. But I think with this, you know, stage of the game, enemy team probably isn't feeling crazy confident. Even though, again, the gold difference isn't massive. It's 2,000 gold. It feels like when you're looking at, like, oh, the enemy team's got all the dragons. The kills, we're nearly half in kills. It feels like you're further behind than you actually are. A lot of the time. And that's one thing I will say to a lot of people. A lot of people give up in games where it's like, oh, dude, we're so far behind. In reality, sometimes you're not, as weird as that sounds. But, you know, league players and mental strength is not normally two things that go together, generally. So, once again, Kayn looking aggressive. The red buff of the enemy team is coming up very soon, so he's probably going to stick around for that. 2 people in the area. Has to be careful, though. What can he do? I doubt he can 2v1 right now, but he is looking for the red buff. That's aggressive. And he does get it. Avoids the Ezreal ultimate, and now he's going to wander over to the enemy team. He gets the kill on the Xerath. He's going aggressive on the monkey. Jace comes in with a rotation. Kayn with a double kill. Most likely a triple incoming. There's the triple. Then going to probably continue his rotation. When his E comes back, he'll be able to get to the fight pretty quick. Is going to look for potentially a quadra. Let's see what happens. Is going to just take a little bit too much damage for him to have the confidence to go in yet. Is running into the enemy base. Why is he doing this? Arguably, he's cutting off the enemy's escape. I think it's questionable, but it's a lot of pressure. He's forcing him to go back, and that will open up the tower for the mid lane, which is great. So, I will say, I still think this game, Red Kayn was still definitely an option if he wanted to do it. But because of how fed he got in the early game, I think, like, I'm going blue. And it worked. It's a risk, by the way, to go blue Kayn. Because you are obviously naturally squishy. You don't give as much utility. So, if it goes bad, Red Kayn is generally, like, the more generic Kayn. The more stable, probably, Kayn. But having the confidence level of I'm already fed, enabled this Kayn to be like, I'm going blue, and he snowballed. And how did he snowball? Reminding people, he stayed bot lane, he camped bot lane, and he did every dragon pretty much as soon as it spawned, apart from the 3rd dragon. It's really good to see. So, really smart. You know, he basically didn't even farm for a good 5 minutes of this game. It was just all about pressure. Letting himself known, getting kills. You know, the Xerath on the enemy team finished 0-10, by the way. A bit irony in his name. And yeah, so this Kayn punished the Xerath heavily. And obviously, Xerath is a champion even in mid lane. If you get his flash, you camp the living hell out of Xerath. It's the same for bot lane. And this Kayn used that a lot. But that is going to be it. Do I think Kayn is overpowered? I think so, yes. Blue Kayn and Red Kayn, I think, are a little bit too overtuned myself. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. And let me know what champions you want to see more of Challenger Spectators down below. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.